Now, I'm going to be honest, I'm not exactly sure how to go about his name.
Yeah.
I believe it could be either Angel Hernandez or Angel Hernandez. I'm just not sure
Let's
what
see.
the
Let me look at him real quick.
right there.
They're
Angel.
probably gonna say probably either Angel or Angel Hernandez.
I'm just gonna say Angel for now, and I apologize if I, you know,
Yeah.
botched the name,
Right.
of course. But the appeals court rejected his lawsuit against the MLB in 2017. He sued them for racially discriminating against him for not being able to get a World Series spot since 2005.
So he had it before. This would be his first time.
Well, it's not. Well, it would. He had it before 2005. He said since 2005 he ain't had a World Series spot, and he keep being overlooked for different promotions and different things like that.
Probably the reason why, right there. That's just it.
He was born in Cuba, hired as a big league umpire in 1993, and then he sued them in 2017. Good morning. And he sued them in 2017. So one of those things where he said that he's alleged that he was discriminated against because he had not been assigned to the World Series since 2005 and has been passed over for promotions to crew chief. So
Really?
yeah, that's one of the things that it's one of those serious things to talk about.
Oh yeah, it is.
How do you get overlooked? To not pay attention to the fact that, hey, I'm here, I'm doing this, and you've been in the big leagues as an umpire since 1993. This is 2024, 23.
Yeah, this is 20 plus years for you.
It's 20 plus years for you. You only appear. I don't even know how many times he's been assigned to the World Series. I couldn't tell you how many times he's been appeared to the World Series. Just can't tell you. But he. Thing is with this, they said that he failed to establish a statistically significant disparity between the promotion rates of whites and minority umpires, and that's what the second circuit court had said in their 11-page decision. And so that the MLB had provided a persuasive expert evidence demonstrating that during the years at issue, the difference in crew chief promotion rates between white and minority umpires was not statistically significant. And Hernandez offers no explanation as to why MLB statistical evidence is unreliable. So it's one of these things that for Hernandez you have to really document very carefully. Okay, you have to document it very carefully. If you feel like that you've been overlooked, you just need to make sure you be able to document it very carefully. Susan L. Carney and Stephen A. Medish, they were the one that heard the oral arguments on June 8th, and because there was 3 judges. Wow, there was 3 judges, and then the other one, Judge Rosemary Pooler, had died on Thursday, so they only left with the 2 judges to make the decision.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So then he had claimed that MLB executive Joe Torre, who made the key decisions over umpires, held anonymously towards Hernandez, dating to Torres' time as a New York Yankees manager.
I was getting ready to ask if that was the same Joe Torre.
Yep.
So, okay, to answer my own question.
Mm-hmm. So they said he had failed to show the criteria that Torre used in making crew chief promotion decisions, causing existing disparity between white and minority crew chiefs. Now, you can still show that, but you got to be able to show it. Exactly. I think it's there. You just got to find it. You know what I'm saying? You have to find it. And I don't doubt Hernandez at all. I don't doubt it. Because you can't, really say that, it's not there. I mean, you could say that it's not there, but the evidence, I believe, is there. You just got to be able to go in and find it. So, you have Kerwin Danley that became the first black crew chief in 2020, and Alfonso Marquez became the first Hispanic crew born outside the United States in that same year to be a crew chief. And Richard Garcia, who was born in Florida, became the first Hispanic crew chief in 1985. So it's one of those things where that right there, to me, is a start.
Yeah.
Then you would have to continue to go and search for and look for evidence of those types of things. You have to also look at, how many black crew chiefs have there been, prior to maybe 1985 or something like that. How many crew chiefs that are black that has been, crew chief since 1985 has actually been out on the baseball mound in the baseball diamond. Hi, how you doing? that's one of those things where you have to look at. It's like, hey, is this actually really something that I could make a case, an argument on that behalf? What can I do, to prove that? Where are the black umpires? Where are the Hispanic, crew chiefs? Where they're at? Where they're at? So that's just one of the things that I wanted to just kind of touch up on. This is something that has to continue to be followed and looked at and talked about for sure, to make sure that everybody is kept aware of the fact that, hey, maybe I don't see things, these people may not see things, and it may be there, and it has to be an opportunity to be able to present that case. And I believe he could present a case. He just got to find it. What's your thoughts?
So, my thing is this. When I do my Breaking Mental Health podcast, one of the things that I've always mentioned throughout the podcast, from many episodes, I have always said, like, if you feel in some way, document it.
Right.
If you're feeling depressed, document it.
Right.
Everything that you do and you're feeling, do the best you can to document it.
Right.
Because the little problems can become the bigger problems.
Right. Exactly.
And with this case with him, little things can become big things.
Because personally, you have to be able to. Cause personally, for me, I have to document things.
Exactly.
I have to document things.
Yep.
I have to. It's not an option. I have to.
And
and that's something you have to do.
Yeah, and that is what I always say. When you're doing psychotherapy and you're talking to someone, you know what I'm saying? Point out the smaller things.
Right.
The smaller things may not be, necessary now, but it could be necessary in the future.
Right.
And that is what I was always saying on the podcast. It's living proof.
Right.
You can go on any podcast and I'll say it. Document the little things.
Yeah, document the very small
Document the little
things.
things. If you mention the little things, those little things can become big. And it could happen to somebody else in the near future.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think that, was that about 6 years worth of investigating?
Yeah.
It really just turned sour because of what type of proof wasn't on there and what was being missed.
Right.
So now that's a lesson learned, and now that he has to turn around and actually, if he actually decides to file again and try again, he has to go dig it. But that's just one of those things that, it was like, in my personal opinion, it was more like a hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
There's discrimination there, believe it or not. It's just like when Ice Cube called out the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't want to work and collaborate with the big
three. See, here's the thing. I'm not gonna say that it is, that motorcycle just threw me off, and I lost my train of thought. It's one of those things where if you can't find it, then it's probably not there.
Exactly.
If you can find it, present it.
Right.
But if it's not there, I have to throw that disclaimer out there. If you can't find it, it's most likely not going to be there.
Exactly.
It's probably not going to be there.
Yeah.
But you still have to be able to look into it more.
Yeah, you still have.
And he has to do a little bit more work to be able to present that case.
Because it's probably there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't never doubt it, because like I said, when that came down to Ice Cube and he's calling people out on it,
Mm-hmm.
he's calling out the NBA on that. He's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I don't have time for these games. Y'all sit up here, y'all write on these courts, end racism and equality, and then in 2020 y'all had those to represent racism on the back of their jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But y'all don't want to help a brother out, to try to help collaborate. So yeah. So now this is what Ice Cube is doing.
Right.
So maybe he can connect with Ice Cube to help with some of these issues
that would be interesting.
Well, yeah, because Ice Cube's been discriminated.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
African American rapper, African American man.
Yeah.
Living his life.
Right.
And trying to conduct business.
Right.
I mean,
true time business, real legit business.
And like, this is Ice Cube's point. I'm not saying that this is what Ice Cube said, but this is what I'm saying.
Right.
If Ice Cube can work with the NBA, the NFL work with Dwayne Johnson and XFL.
Right.
Why not the NBA with Ice Cube?
Right.
Big problem.
Big problem. I agree.
Big problem.
Yeah.
He's got a case. He needs to work for it, like you said.
He work a little bit more. No doubt. No doubt.
Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
But thank you so much for listening. I'm Darren Watts. That's Daryl.
Yeah.
All right.
Buddy.
So catch up on another one with Darren's notes. But until then, ciao.